Are you ready for your window shoppers to become paying customers? Equity Commerce is here to make that happen. We can help you automatically show the exact product visitors saw but didn't purchase on your site wherever they go on Facebook and Instagram using this magic called dynamic Facebook retargeting. To show these ads to your prospects today, sign up in your Equid Control panel in the marketing section and look for the Facebook remarketing app. This is fully integrated into Equid and Facebook and so simple and effective you'll wonder why you hadn't done this sooner. To help you decide, if you sign up now and spend $50 by February 15th, you'll receive a free $100 advertising credit from our friends at Facebook. Okay, back to the show.
This is the Equid E-Commerce Show with your host, Jesse Ness, along with Richard O'Tay.
Hey guys, Jesse Ness with the Equid E-Commerce Show, here with
Richard O'Tay. Hi, Jess.
Hey, Rich. We're back again. With old friend John Lincoln with Ignite Visibility. If you haven't listened to our previous series, he was named the Search Engine Marketer of the Year with Search Engine Land, and their company is the #1 ranked SEO company by Clutch.co. Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me back.
Good. Yeah, I'm doing great. So we've been doing a kind of an SEO 101 series. Previously, we've spoke about keyword research and optimizing your page with that keyword research. So now we want to go into probably the hardest topic, in my opinion, of SEO, and that's backlinks and how to get them.
Yeah, definitely.
So, John, this is a tough one. Where do we get them?
Where does someone start with this?
Yeah. So, well, first, let's define what it is, right? So there's a couple different things going on here. One, there's local listings, and then those determine where you show up inside of Google Maps, right? So that's that. So if you want to show up in Google Maps, it's local listings, and then on the other side,
and so for local listings, that's like your Google Plus account. Is that what they still call it, or what's the?
Yeah, so it's Google My Business now.
Google My Business.
And so if you want your Google My Business listing to rank, what you have to do is you have to get other directories online to list your name, address, and your phone number. They call it NAP, name, address, and phone number. And the more times they do that, and the more consistent it is, the better chance that you're going to rank. So if you Google like digital marketing agency in San Diego right now, you'll see that our Ignite Visibility page comes up inside of Google Maps, and that's because we have all of these local listings that have our correct name, address, and phone number, and it's all consistent, as well as good kind of usage signals in Google for people looking for us and finding what they're looking for. That's part of it, but that's one thing to note. Yeah,
I had a quick question here. People enter this e-commerce game and they're trying to sell all over. It's part of why they're getting it. But am I hearing between the lines here that even though they're trying to sell all over, there's a reason to start with these local listings and there's a benefit even if they don't have a brick and mortar store locally in that town?
Yeah, every e-commerce site you should have some type of local presence. I think that only if you have a brick and mortar location, though. If you don't, then what happens is you set up the local listing and people start showing up at your door and they're like, "Hey, sell me, whatever you're selling, right? The mug or whatever." But generally it's good if you have a brick and mortar location. A lot of e-commerce sites, they start with brick and mortar, then they go to e-commerce. And so they might know a little bit about these local listings. There's a lot of stuff around local. It's a whole industry. But what you talked about is linking, and most specifically linking inside and how to rank inside the HTML version in Google. So what that means is under the maps, then you have all the websites that show up. And to rank there, it's 50% of the content on the page, and the other 50% is how many links you get. Now, those links, they need to be quality links, and that's the kicker. So you can't just get a link from anywhere. Otherwise, you get a penalty in Google, and you get removed from Google. So the more high-quality links you get, the better. An example of a high-quality link might be a publication, writing something on you, and then linking to your website inside of the text.
Got it. So a publication might be like a local newspaper, or
San Diego Business Journal. Some business journal, locate something in your area. Could be a big site like a Forbes. That's what everybody wants. But a lot of those big sites, they have something called a no follow on the links. Not to make it too complicated, but there's a difference. There's a followed link and a no followed link. If there's something in the HTML that says no followed, that link does not help you. If it's followed and it's just a clean link in the HTML, then it really helps you rank better. And that's what you want, followed links from good sites.
Got it. So if I launch my business, I get my Google My Business account set up, the next step, in your opinion, would be, these local publications. Can you get them to write a story about you, or can you, even if do you have to pay for a listing to list your business, something like that?
Well, if you're a brand new business, the best thing you can do is a press release and let people know, like have a launch party, try to do something creative, try to get in the local news, do a little PR around it, have a story. What's unique? What's the story about your business, right? If you can tell a story about why you started it and what's unique, and if it's compelling, people are going to want to tell that story for you. Do a press release and reach out, and you're going to get links naturally. You can reach out just by Googling and finding people who would write on these stories normally and pitching them. And that's really the best way to get links nowadays. It's just through straight PR. There's a couple cool tools if you want to get more advanced. There's one called Pitchbox or Outreach Ninja that will let you kind of comb the web and reach out to people sequentially. I would stay away from that if I were you, just if you're getting started. Just try to do a little PR, get a press release going. That'll get you on the board. Build out those local listings and your social media profiles, because if you get a link from Instagram or Facebook, Google picks up on that stuff too. So those are kind of the easiest ways to get started.
Got it.
Yeah.
So the easy links would be the Google My Business and all the social media. So make sure you get all your social media.
That's step one. Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Got it. So, and social being like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest if you have a visual product. So get all those done. Make sure they're pointing to you. Now the press release, there's these wire services that will push your release out there. Is that something you'd recommend?
Yeah. So first, when you're setting up your social profiles, there's a service out there called Noam, and it'll set up anywhere from 30 to 500 social media profiles for you. Then you can kind of own all those. That can be a good way to start. If you're going to be doing local listings as well, you're going to want to use Yext or Moz Local. Moz Local is a little cheaper. That's usually a good one to use. And then if you're going to do a press release, there's a million different services out there. And some are really expensive, and they're all trying to upsell you, and you buy one, and 20 people call you, and they want to get you on their $20,000 package. And it's pretty much that way with all those services, actually. But that's okay. That's their business model. For the press release, you can do a real quick and dirty one on PR.com. It's an older one, but they've got okay distribution. And then you could also do PR Web. That's pretty good, too, and you can just submit a release there. But it'll have a pretty big impact for you. It gets you ranking in Google. If you're a brand new site, you won't even show up if somebody Googles your domain name. So the more press releases you can do, the better. For me, the best strategy is just some new kind of PR thing every month and doing a release. Something new PR every month and a release. If you do that over time, people just start linking to you, and then the next step is creating great content. And that could be a whole nother episode in the future, but we can touch on that if you like. But there's a lot that goes into linking, and I'll give you another trick too. Another thing you can do is you can use a tool like SEMrush or Majestic. Those are two great tools, and then there's Ahrefs as well. Majestic.com, SEMrush.com, and Ahrefs.com. You can go put in your competitors, and you can see all the places that have linked to them. And then based off of that, you can go and look at the links, figure out how they got the links, and then you can go and create that same type of strategy for yourself. We call that reverse engineering, and that can be a really good way just to see, okay, so if I want to rank number one for, best motocross parts or something, where did they get all their links from? You go out there, you do the same thing. And what's tricky is knowing how to approach it, knowing how to create those. But that's kind of just a little bit more info on external linking for you.
Got it. Quick question for you, John.
Yep.
So first off, thanks for the high level, and we know you could go a lot deeper on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But if someone was just starting out and they don't even they barely understand what you just said.
Yeah.
And they just have one friend, and they're a fitness blogger or something like that, and they have other friends or other people in the industry they want to reach out to and just start with one link.
Yeah.
What do you recommend somebody, how do they introduce themselves? How do they get the process started? Just a one-on-one, just getting started. I don't want to get bogged down in learning new software or any of this stuff. Is there anything that you see that's worked to get someone else to open up to someone that's new and be willing to give them a backlink?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, what you're talking about is kind of like, it may not be exactly, but there's this thing called a link exchange. So it's like if I give you a link, you give me a link. If I give you, and so on and so forth. So that used to be something that over the last 6 to 10 years people did every day. Now that's actually against Google's guidelines. So if they find out that you did that, then they get you a penalty. Also, if somebody links to you too many times with the same term, you get a penalty. So if I link to you too many times with a term like, best motocross parts, then you wouldn't rank for that anymore. So, for me, it's really just about putting out great content, doing great work. And, look, if you've got on the back end and you've got, 100 friends and, you create an email list and you say, hey, look, I just published this blog post. If you really like it, I'd be honored if you link to it. That is okay. So there's nothing wrong with link asking, and that's fine. Other things people do is like you might create an infographic and then offer that to people or just tell them about it, and then they link to it as well. It's really nowadays just about creating great content or having a great product and then promoting it, and just doing that continuously over time. And that's the best way to do it. But just to and not that you were saying this, but just to have a one-to-one thing, what will happen is eventually Google will catch up to you and you get in a little bit of trouble for that. So watch out for that one, just a bit.
Well, I mean more just reaching out one person at a time, but I know what you're saying.
One at a time, or a couple at a time, or telling friends about this awesome guide I just published on the 2000 or 2018 motocross parts that you have to have, and I'd love it if you'd link to it, and emailing them a couple times and bugging them. Link begging is okay. So that's a way to do it. Yeah.
Perfect, guys. So link begging is okay. You heard it here. So do whatever you have to do to get those first few links. You need Google to find you. And in order for Google to find you, you have to have links to your site. So go out there and get them. Press release if you have to. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, guys. Jesse Ness on the Equity Commerce Show. Check out equid.com for more, or Ignite Visibility to hear more from John. Thank you. Well, Rich, there's another great show.
And when you add it all together with the other shows, you won't miss any strategies or new tactics on how to grow your online business.
So to make sure you don't miss anything, subscribe on your favorite podcast player. Rich, what player do you like?
Probably Stitcher.
All right.
How about you?
I'm an Apple podcast guy. I'm an Apple guy on that.
Yeah.
And we're growing right now. A listener asked us to add Google Play as a platform. So we just added that a couple weeks ago. We have Spotify, SoundCloud.
Nice. We're everywhere.
So subscribe on your favorite platform, and don't forget to rate and review us.
So we know what you think.
Yeah, rate how we're doing, review on what we have done, tell us topics you'd like us to cover, tell us if you think we're great and you are going to take over the world.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
It's the only way we'll know, and it keeps the shows coming. Thanks, everybody.